So let's have a look at the Bigme B7. This is a color e-ink tablet. The obvious comparison will be between this and the Boox Go 7 color. I wanted to say thank you very much to Bigme for sending this out. One thing I can say straight away is on ePaper, it seems like this will be a much more powerful alternative. Double the RAM of the Go 7 color and double the storage. And this seems to be about $300 compared to for the Go 7 color, $249.99. So yes, this is more expensive for that higher spec. Let's just see if it performs that much better. This is much more of a full tablet, and I'm seeing straight away the obligatory AI camera there, which will be an absolutely standard camera, I'm sure. But also here, not just an SD card slot, but also space for a SIM card. Because this Bigme, the B7, has calling as well. So this is a phone. I've been a great fan of the Bigme Highbreak Pro, but actually, it's not that much bigger, is it? It's thinner. I must say this is really nice. I mean, I did enjoy using the B751, really quite enjoyed it. This looks like it's a nicer looking screen than that as well. I'll quickly get the rest out of the box. It does have Stylus support, no charging. Is it magnetically charged from the side? And you do get an A to C cable and some spare nibs, of course, very welcome, and an SD card or SIM card removal tool in this case. Yeah, I'll go through the initial setup and I'll let you know. Whilst that's just doing its update, let's talk about a few other things. The pen is wireless charging from the side, it seems, so that's good. The pen feels incredibly light and really quite flimsy, so I'm a bit skeptical as to whether I'm going to enjoy this or not. However, one obvious comparison I will do here will be with the B571, and the pen on that was pretty atrocious. It looks like it's the same pen tech, see the same nibs. The reason why this pen was so bad was because actually it was a battery stylus that you had to add a battery within it there, a quadruple A battery. That just meant it was quite heavy and the pressure levels were never quite right on that. It was always making kind of blotchy text, so hopefully this stylus does better. And let's have a look at the case as well. A nicer looking case, that's for sure, than the previous one. Looks like they've got it magnetizing in rather than clasping in. And the previous one just always felt a little bit flimsy, and it just felt like this strap was going to break at some point, although it didn't. In the, I don't know, months or so that I used this thing, it didn't break. Now, we've been stuck on this screen for a little while, so we'll see. Here's a bit of a persistent problem with Bigme, that their updates are never just smooth, and the buttons seem pretty similar. They're slightly more travel than the previous one, I think. Nothing to complain about on either with the buttons, really. So we got there in the end, and yeah, it is now updated. I do think Bigme ought to sort that out, because having any issues with running updates, it just doesn't give you that confident feeling straight away. I just want to run it side by side with the B751 for just a little while, try and match them up in terms of color. Quite tricky to do, you can see that. There we are, that's a bit more like it. You can see it much whiter over here on the newer one though, so far. Let's go and find the same content on both. Incidentally, this is in the sort of Note, the office style launcher that they say, rather than this being the tablet style, but they can both be in either. And let's check for both of them, we're in the same mode, although it will change depending on which app we go into. And let's use their browser just to give them both an equal sort of opportunity. So extreme for both to begin with. Everything else I think is the same. That's really not going to a new page for some reason. And this isn't great. This is pretty pixelated across here. This is not the clearest ink I've ever seen. I'm not seeing much of a difference. I am seeing much whiter on the newer one. So perhaps this is the improved Kaleido-free panel, the whiter sort of ink. Let's try a different mode. Let's just try the default for this app if you like, or default normal fast. Looks a little bit better, I suppose, but not much. Both nice and smooth scrolling though. And let's just see the sort of best look. And I'll come back on a live stream, we'll do more of these as usual. Custom HD265 look. Whoa, neither of them really showing their best. Even in Bigme, their own browser, they're just not showing their best at all. Okay, we'll look at this in lots of detail over the next little while. Now, important thing to me is how that pen performs. So let's go to notes, and you can see I was talking about how the previous Bigme pen here had really badly calibrated pressure levels, and you get these things at the ends, the start and ends of the lines. Need to wake the pen up before we go. These like blobs. So regularly when you're writing, you get these horrible blobs at the starts and ends of your lines, which just don't look good. I'm wondering, does the pen, now the pen doesn't work on the new one, so that's could be a good sign. It's got the Google automatic handwriting in. I don't want to try that out just yet. Probably should have read the tutorial. But that's not well optimized, being an e-ink panel. But at least they have installed the Gboard as default is one option that you can use. Okay, so yes, straight away I think it is better. Sure, it's no Wacom EMR, but let's try apples and apples. Yeah. Okay, no, it is not. It is the same basic technology. See those horrible blobs? It's not just the pen tool there. It is generally the inaccuracy of this type of stylus. Now, e-ink aren't providing any panels for companies to use the Wacom EMR right now. This is as good as it's going to get right now. Oh, no. So several times I'm missing my strokes. It's not the first stroke as in like the way it saves battery, it sort of turns off the pen input for a little while. It's not unforgivable, because if you want an e-ink tablet at this size, an e-ink reader at this size, to have some tablet type functions and have a pen input, then this pen technology is as good as you're going to get right now. And all that stuff with the stylus, just hold on, because it's got one more important trick up its sleeve, which if it's good, you might forgive all of that stuff. But that's not great. Now I'm interested to see, if I go into my Kindle and I bring out the Kindle Colorsoft, these are both the same Kaleido-free panel on paper. However, Kindle's asking me for a capture, and it's quite difficult to solve on the e-ink tablet because it's not the best rendering that I've seen by some distance. So I'd like to just see the same sort of graphic novel on both of these. I have said quite regularly that this thing, the Kindle Colorsoft, is just one of the best looking e-ink panels that you can get right now. There we go. Yeah, so let's just match up the colors. I mean, just look at that difference. It's huge. Sure, this must be in one of its faster modes, because what it's not doing is flashing like the Kindle Colorsoft is, and there's no choice of changing that in the Kindle Colorsoft, of course. It's got a built-in comic mode. Let's see how that manages. You see all the ghosting there. So nowhere near as good. And I can go to its very best looking mode. I mean, the only options you have on the Kindle are vivid or normal, so it's in vivid, I believe. Okay, it does a better job on the blues there. And there probably is some sort of optimization that I can get to do a deeper refresh, but I mean, look at the difference. It's huge. So much better contrast over here, so much better colors. Yeah, no, the colors are good on there actually. I'll allow that. If I just go to normal, maybe? Some more testing is needed. I mean, look at that panel there. It looks absolutely fabulous. So I suppose if you want to read comics in Kindle, the advice is still buy a Kindle. The other obvious comparison would be to the two Boox devices, and Boox have a black and white and a color at this size at the minute, so I might as well look at it next to the color. This is the Boox Go 7, but bear in mind you can get a black and white similar device. But remember that these guys can both do just so much more. So let's have a look at the browsing in both of their standard browsers. Wasn't that impressed, of course, across here. Yeah, you can see even in whatever I'm in right now, which I'm guessing is like, yeah, the fastest mode. I can just go to HD and it'll be its best. And am I really in its best mode right here? H265, let's try Regal. It doesn't appear to be refreshing. That did a refresh that time, but it still looks bad. So I think there's some issues there for them to resolve. I think they probably can resolve those. For some reason now it looks okay. Let's just do normal in both, which would be the kind of speed mode over here. Oh, that looks really good all of a sudden. But yeah, still more grainy, not as nice an image across here on the Bigme as it is on the Boox. Boox there and Bigme there. But perhaps the reason to look at buying this thing. I've made a lot of content discussing the Bigme Hybrid Pro. And I think Bigme, they are ahead of the game in terms of integrating cellular connectivity. This might be the reason to choose the B7 over maybe even the Hybrid Pro. Many of you were waiting for a color Hybrid Pro. It doesn't exist yet, but once I put a SIM card in here, can this essentially be a phone? No, it certainly isn't going to be your one and only communication device, but if it could be linked via cellular, you could have WhatsApp on here or whichever messaging app you prefer to use and all your friends and family use. And you could take yourself out, sit in the park somewhere, go out an entire day, go for an entire trip, knowing that you can be reached, knowing that you can reach other people on your e-reader. Not only that, but you can see there, just casually add in, well, I've got an extra 32 in this card. See it listed what the maximum, but it'll be in the region of half a terabyte or more, I would imagine. And now, yeah, straight away 4G's been found, and I've now got a wirelessly connected e-ink tablet. I could use my WhatsApp account on here, and that could be all of the communications, all of the tablet, all of the reading that you'd need to take yourself away to have a good break, catch up on some important reading and some thinking at a fabulous price. I'll be back with lots more testing. As usual, please let me know what you want to know in the comments. Add your questions down below. Let's do a little live stream and make those comparisons and have that discussion as well sometime soon. Your help with the content is just ask lots of questions, please, and let me know your thoughts on the Bigme B7.